Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, watch as I transform this pile of rubbish into art. Under conceptualism, anything can be art. Simply make friends with the right curator who can produce a catalogue essay linking the work back to Duchamp.
Marcel Duchamp.
Now before you say my 4-year-old could have done that, consider for a moment that perhaps that's exactly the point. Under conceptualism, you don't need skill, you just need an idea. So you and your 4-year-old could be genius artists. Flattering, isn't it? The other winner out of this deal is the gallery. Under conceptualism, you need the gallery, because without it, this goes back to being a pile of rubbish, whereas this oil painting doesn't need a gallery to make it seem like art. So conceptualism can make us all feel like geniuses and make art galleries and curators seem indispensable. But that's still not the biggest reason why conceptualism is the cornerstone of today's art world.
In the beginning, there was art. Then there was religious art. Then art academies. Then art galleries. Art dealers. Art auctions. Art prizes. Art press. Art critics. Art curators. Art advisors. Art fairs. Biennales. Corporate sponsorship. Till eventually it became very difficult to find the art in the art world.
Hello Internet, my name is Peter and I am a genuine art critic. I'm also obsolete, because in today's art world, anything can be art. Why can anything be art? A simple answer, conceptualism. But what is conceptualism? Well, that story begins with a guy named Duchamp, who turned an ordinary bathroom urinal into art.
In 1912, the French artist Marcel Duchamp had this painting rejected by his fellow Cubist painters because it wasn't Cubist enough. Frustrated by the arbitrary dogma of the so-called avant-garde, Duchamp decided to trump the daring of all the modern artists with a prank and a statement, asserting that anything the artist chooses can be art. When Fountain appeared in 1917, judges dismissed it out of hand, barring it from exhibition. The original was thrown out as rubbish and has never been found. But over the next 100 years, the idea caught on that perhaps the very core of art lies in the choice of the artist. What could be a more appealing idea to the kind of artists that have no actual skill, but plenty of money to have art manufactured?
What began as a rebellious prank has become the norm. Today, anything can be art. So what makes it good art? What gives art the ability to stand the test of time? Is it skill? Its political potency? Its links to art history? Its price? Its resemblance to reality? Its purity of abstraction? Its emotive power? Its simplicity? Its complexity? Its originality? Or its honesty? No. The single most important factor in an artwork's ability to stand the test of time is its ability to flatter its audience. And conceptualism flatters its audience in a very special way.
Some art flatters its audience in a very obvious way. Sometimes it's subtle, but mostly it's obvious. The problem with images like this is that they also flatter the artist by glorifying their own skill. And for you and me, skill like this can be intimidating. Especially in this digital age, where the only skill we have is on our touchscreens. And who do we thank for those touchscreens? Not the skill of those that build them, but the visionary who directs them. And so it is with art. Conceptualism flatters this age by removing the skill that we can no longer relate to, and by glorifying the kind of genius that anyone can aspire to be. But the single greatest advantage that conceptualism has over its predecessors is mass production. Gone is the lonely artist in the studio. Today, successful contemporary artists have their work manufactured just like any other corporation. Before conceptualism, a rich artist had just as much creative power as a poor one. But under conceptualism, artists can use their elite wealth to produce work on such a scale that it dominates the market, captures the headlines, and secures their place in history.
It all might seem a bit hopeless, as if conceptualism has allowed money to dominate art like never before. Duchamp himself eventually grew tired of art and became a professional chess player, stating famously,
Je suis encore une victime du jeu d'échecs. Il a toute la beauté de l'art, et bien plus encore, il ne peut pas être commercialisé. Les échecs sont beaucoup plus purs que l'art dans sa position sociale.
Check. And perhaps it is, but money has always dominated art. What's new is the idea that it doesn't have to. So next time you see a piece of art that's selling you false flattery, just look away, because the truth is, you're not a genius. You are, however, a wonderful audience, full of intelligence and more than worthy of receiving my wisdom. It's clear to me that every one of you is a genius. Every one of your comments is genius. Everything that you think is genius. Even when you're being stupid, it's genius. Genius. You're too weak to stomach my opinions, then perhaps you shouldn't be here. But if you think that your opinion is of value, then by all means, share it with me. And in my next video, I'll respond with the tender respect that your opinions deserve.